What drug did you take once and thought nope, never again? My dad gave me a Dilaudid he had left over from his hip surgery because I had a sore neck. I felt an almost overwhelming sense of euphoria. I knew I could never take another one. That fake weed stuff that was around a little while back. Thought I was going to die. So hot. My sister found me naked passed out in the bathroom with my face against the bottom of the toilet. This really bothered me. I'm not a gramaphobe but rather germ aware. Meth. Did some once thinking it was coke. Spent 2 days strung out and horny as hell. Never again. Benadryl. Took around 700 to 800 milligrams, like 25 or 30 pills, a while ago to trip. Not a good recreational drug. It's like how people who don't do drugs imagine acid to be like. I'd actually vividly see things and people that weren't there. I'd see people come in the room I was in and sit next to me on the couch and I'd start having a conversation with them. Only to blink and have them disappear. I'd get up and start filling up a cup of water and bam, I'd be back on the couch. Never having gotten up. I don't remember most of the night but my friends said I was just in a complete different world. They had some funny stories from it though. Apparently at one point I pulled my pants down and just said ants in my pants. Xanax. Took a bar at a friend's house. All I remember was watching Game of Thrones at a friend's house, then next thing I know I'm at my app and it's a day later. Wasn't a bad experience for anything, it was just alright and felt like a waste of time. Plenty of better drugs out there. The two thing I've taken from this thread is that Salvia is the worst drug out there. And that realizing you want more of a drug is instantly the reason to never do it again. Salvia. It's a very short trip but I felt so much physical discomfort, like my whole body was being shoved into a box despite the fact that I was sitting in the grass with a group of friends. Apparently it's not an uncommon side effect of the drug. Not a drug. But I was told I needed to take a fiber supplement. And went with the fiber pills. Then I went to the emergency room because I felt like I couldn't breathe within a few minutes of taking them. Fiber pills swell up easily with water. So they can end up feeling like they are sealing your throat. I now take fiber gummies. And actually enjoy having a little treat every day. Muscle relaxants. Worst cramps I've ever had when the drug stops working. And you realize you have cramping muscles at the soles of your feet and between all your bones. I did LSD twice a couple years ago. The first time was awesome and the second time was also awesome, but since then I just don't want to do it anymore. It's weird but I just don't. Even though I had very positive experiences with it, I just don't want to do it again. Ever again. I'm not sure why but it doesn't really bother me. If you're wondering, I waited about 2 months or so to do my second trip. But dextromorphan is something I did one time and will never touch again. When I had an HS I was a bit of a fiend and I went to the Walmart to get cough syrup of the shelf, Dulcim Orange. I did it with 3 other friends and it ducked all of us up. We couldn't walk right. Like it felt as if our legs were lagging behind our brain by a couple seconds. Eventually I threw up like 4 times. Don't remember if they did but I did. The euphoria was weak AF and the trip was really weird. Topiramate, Topamax. A drug used to treat migraines and seizure disorders. I started developing a couple of the less common side effects, including facial numbness/tingling, visual disturbances, and most concerning to me, aphasia. The scariest thing about the aphasia is that it can be permanent. Sorry. But I'll deal with the headaches, which weren't even migraines. Just a stress phase I was going through, and keep my words. Thanks. Peyote. Only bad trip I ever had. I felt like I had ingested something that wasn't meant for me. Being a white guy, kept seeing people hiding just out of sight. When I would turn to look at them they would duck back around a corner or couch. See people crawling through windows out of the corner of my eye. I felt like Native American spirits were there to duck with me and punish me for eating their sacred plant. Felt wrong the whole time. Never had any issues with any other psychedelic, even under the most stressful situations. But for some reason peyote got me all wrong. I was given fentanyl in a hospital setting for a lung procedure. They make you black out and go into your lung. I never had a bad experience, but I can see why people get addicted to it. I was euphoric and somebody let me go shopping. I bought all these blue dress shirts that didn't fit. Like hundreds of dollars worth. I felt like I was on cloud 9 for hours. Ecstasy. Turns out it was laced with something. Most likely fentanyl. Lost feeling in my legs. Couldn't keep my eyes open and was in excruciating pain. Once my friends realized I was being serious and overdosing, they took me to the hospital. I swore to never take a pill again after that. I was only 17. I struggled with other drugs and was an addict. I just celebrated 2 years of sobriety from drugs this month. Smiley face. Most of them, other than high-grade pot, most give me a disassociative feeling that I hate. Even prescribed painkillers, I stay on them for as short of a time as I can stand. Edibles. Took too many gummies to calm me down before getting a tattoo. They didn't know I had taken them, of course, so when I went gray after not really breathing effectively for a few minutes, all I heard was, "Breath, ma'am. We're going to give you something." I thought they were going to narcan me, so I spoke up. They gave me orange-flavored glucose tablets instead, which I must say is a 10-cent snack when you're toasted. Did acid once. Was on edge and slightly uncomfortable most of the time, but it was still overall enjoyable. Then a friend who was also tripping with us started to have a bad trip, and it was really difficult to not lose it myself. Felt like I was very close to losing control. Thankfully everything ended up fine, but there's no way I'm doing it again unless I have access to Xanax. Kills a trip in 20 to 30 minutes. Percocet. It was in liquid form. I can totally see how people get addicted to that stuff. It's like a few minutes later the world turns into a beautiful place and your problems disappear. Bath salts. I had been told it was MDMA. It looked and tasted, and originally felt like MDMA. For the first 12 hours. The next 48 hours, when I was still high as a kite, I thought I was never going to come down. One of my pupils was highly dilated and the other wasn't. Thankfully, I was working a solo shift at a tiny cafe in a student library when I went back to work on the third day, and only had to deal with like 4 people the entire day. I legit thought I broke my brain and was okay with it because I was just continuously rolling without the major side effects. Problem was, I couldn't sleep. I think I was awake for 4 days straight before I passed out from exhaustion, and then the nightmarish experience this had caused began to wind down. I tested the rest I had and found it was bath salts, and actually swore off doing drugs. Been clean since. Over 6 years now. Honestly. Propylhexedrine inhaler. It's a menthol inhaler you gotta eat insides of. The drug is like dirty MDMA. But it's legal to buy an inhaler, since most folks would eat cotton soaked in menthol oil. Didn't do it myself. But here's my highlight reel as a police officer when spy/bath salt/synthetics hit my community hard for about a year. Asterisk found a guy who had chewed all of the flesh off of his fingers to the bone. Asterisk naked girl about 5 stories up in a tree covered in blood from getting cuts from the branches. Got to use the fire department's cool big red ladder truck for that one. Asterisk got squirted in the face with breast milk from the tap. Asterisk attacked with cheese. Literally. Dude frisbeed craft singles at me when I told him we were taking him to the hospital. Asterisk same guy as above ripped out his catheter and pissed blood all over his ER room. Asterisk got bitten 4 times. Ate lots of antibiotics. Honestly can't fathom why anybody did that stuff. Never saw one person having a good time on it. If my state would legalize marijuana, maybe people wouldn't be looking to alternatives, but still waiting. Acid. Only tried it once and I was basically trapped in my own head for almost 10 hours. I tried to let my friend know something was wrong but couldn't speak. It was absolutely terrifying. I'm done with mushrooms too. My first 2 trips were absolutely incredible. Lots of fun. But ever since then I get violently sick when I eat them. The last time I was coughing and dry heaving so much I started spitting up blood. Tripping's just not for me.